Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this session on Power BI, which contains most of the things that you need to know about Power BI. Now let's take a look at the agenda for this session. In the first module, we will be introduced to business intelligence and understand the importance of business intelligence. After getting introduced to business intelligence, you will be learning why do we need business intelligence. And then we will be introduced to self-service business intelligence. After getting introduced to self-service business intelligence, you will be getting introduced to Power BI. And then you will be learning about reports and dashboards. After learning about reports and dashboards, we will go through the key benefits of Power BI. And then we will be going through the history of Power BI. And finally, at the end, I will be demonstrating a demo project. Now, without making any further delay, let's start with the session. So, business intelligence is a collection of processes, architectures, and technologies which turn raw data into meaningful information which drives productive business behavior. So, the general process of business intelligence is gathering data and organizing it through reporting. So, it turns the data into meaningful information through analysis. So, business intelligence includes the processes and methods through which data from company operations or events are obtained and then processed and analyzed to maximize the output. So BI has significant effect, strong effect on the strategic, tactical and operational business decisions of organizations. I have gone through a different criteria in deciding which products to include because there are lots of options out there. The first criteria is availability and usage, which means how many potential employers are willing to have their current skill as visualization tool. So this is really a key when deciding which tool to use or which skill set to build for a job. So the second criteria is how easy is it to learn and use. There are some products that offer fantastic options if you know a lot of coding, and there are others too if you don't know much coding. And this is one of the most important criteria because it can also mean how long does it take to be somewhat proficient using the tool. And the third criteria is quality of data visualization. As you want to learn a tool that has a great visualization, quality gets reflected by the quality inputs you are giving it. And the fourth criteria is cost and ease of setup. So this talks about big data versus small data. So what size of company or industry you are getting into. So if you are getting into a startup or smaller company, this would probably go with a cheaper solution because they cannot afford investment for some of the most expensive tools. In some cases, most expensive tools are better tools. So there are many tools which are equivalent and it is really a matter of application that we have. So some are more suitable for certain companies than others. So basically customization makes really nice for companies to pick what they need and also for you to know what type of application you should learn to boost your data visualization skills. So why do we need business intelligence? To conveniently collect, analyze and visualize data which can be bigger or scattered in different places because it will lead to more accurate analysis, right? Because to leverage the power of data to better decision making. So one of the things that you have is boosting productivity. So it is greater for productivity. Using traditional data gathering methods, user has to manually compile and analyze data and generate related reports. So this can be incredibly a time consuming activity, which may also prone to human errors. So using BI solution, it becomes possible to pull data and create the reports at the click of button. One of the main advantages of investing in BI solution is the fact that it will boost your ability to analyze the opportunity for sales. So let's take an example of the pharmaceutical company ABC, which has a retail stores across the world. If it has a hang of how it is performing, real-time data points of where its sales are coming from, which stores are performing the best, it knows where to invest its money on. So it helps a lot in this kind of analytics. So, how many times have you established a set of seemingly reasonable goals for a project or other ventures only to end up an outcome that's drastically different? So, with BI, you can keep track of information and have it accessible by parties that need it. So, BI goes a long way in helping achieving what you aim for. So, with BI, you can keep track of information and set your goals accordingly. So BA in general is something that you are building an ETL solution plus a reporting solution to add value to your business and for the management to make better decisions. So you can boost your ability to analyze the current consumer buying trends. So organization can develop products on consumption. So through better strategic awareness, faster reporting, decreased operating costs or lower overheads and access to better quality data and information, BI can positively influence a company's return of investment. So BI system is an analytical tool that gives the insight you need to make successful strategic plans for your organization. So business intelligence helps mainly in terms of KPI. So KPI basically stands for key performance indicators, guys. So KPIs are nothing but they are measurable outcomes that indicate the company's performance against its goals. So in order to define your KPIs for successful business intelligence, you have to identify which aspects of your business you want to look into and have all the relevant data in your hand. And the second thing is process benchmarking. So every company has a goal that they need to achieve. So benchmarking is nothing but the process of comparing your business processes and performance metrics to industry standards. So benchmarking compares how cost, time, and quality are used between different organizations. So with the help of business intelligence, you can get to know if you are getting closer to your goal or further away from your goal. So, through powerful analytical tools, BA solutions can provide companies with valuable information that can be utilized to drive sales. So, business intelligence can solve numerous problems, guys. Like making decisions usually involves analyzing data from multiple sources, right? So, without business intelligence solutions, you will have to get data from each of them and then combine everything together and finally move to the reporting stage. So, only then you will be able to start the decision making process, right? So creating multiple systems take too much time and effort. But there is a way to save these precious resources and spend them on something more important. Business intelligence solutions allow building a centralized data warehouse while creating reports becomes extremely fast and easy. So therefore you will be able to spend the time saved on making efficient decisions, right? So this is a serious advantage of business intelligence solutions, especially in the case you have an enormous number of sources with loads of data in each of them. So guys, business intelligence developer is basically responsible for designing and developing BI solutions, overseeing the implementation of the BI systems and also the ongoing maintenance of those solutions. So basically BI developer spends a lot of time researching and planning solutions for existing problems within the company, guys. So guys, trust me, BI professionals are in high demand with drawing attractive salaries every month. So according to a recent survey, the average salary of a business intelligence analyst in US is supposed to rise from 4.3% in future, ranging from $1,18,000 to $1,71,750 per annum, guys. Now let's understand self-service business intelligence. So self-service business intelligence is a data analytics approach that enables business users to access and work with corporate data even though they have no experience in statistical analysis, BI or data mining. So basically the main aim is to give the users of BI tools more freedom and responsibility at the same time. So let's say for example, casual BI users often only need to be able to filter and group data, right? So in the very same environment, power users or business analysts might have to integrate local data from different sources on their own. So they can quickly build or enhance existing reports. So therefore the need for self-service within a BI environment varies according to the user requirement. So self-service BI tools basically allow users to filter, sort, analyze and visualize data without involving the organization's BI and IT teams. So these are some of the top self-service BI tools: Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense and Zoho reports. Now let's get introduced to Power BI. So Power BI is basically a collection of software services, apps and connectors that work together to turn your unrelated sources of data into coherent, visually immersive and interactive insights. So basically your data may be an Excel spreadsheet or a collection of cloud-based and on-premises hybrid data warehouses. So and visualize and discover whatever important and then share that with anyone or everyone you want. For example, you can use Power BI Desktop to create reports for your own team about customer engagement statistics, and you can view inventory and manufacturing progress in a real-time dashboard in Power BI service. So in order to create a dashboard in Power BI, you just need to follow four steps. Firstly, you will be collecting the data, and then you will be exploring your dashboard, and then you will be choosing your right chart, and then you will be saving it, and then publishing your dashboard. So Power BI provides non-technical business users with tools for aggregating, analyzing, visualizing, and sharing data. So when we talk about aggregations in Power BI, they let you reduce table sizes so that you can focus on important data.
and improve query performance. So they basically enable interactive analysis over big data in ways that they are not possible. Otherwise, they can dramatically reduce the cost of unlocking large data sets for decision making. So when we talk about analyzing, you can tell Power BI desktop to find where a distribution is different and get fast, automated, insightful analysis about your data. All you need to do is just simply right click on data point and select analyze, which will find where the distribution is different and insight is delivered to your in easy to use window. So when we talk about visualizations, they display insights that have been discovered in the data, right? So a Power BI report might have a single page with one visual, or it might have pages full of visuals. So when we talk about sharing data, we can publish and share our Power BI reports and dashboards to teammates in our organizations or to everyone on the web. Now let's see who are the users of Power BI. So basically IT professionals, developers, business analysts, subject experts. So these all guys are the users of Power BI. So now let's learn about reports and dashboards in Power BI. So reports are more descriptive data presented in various formats such as chart, graph, list and tabular, etc. So reports are basically they're based on data from one dataset or business unit, such as reports from California store. So when we talk about dashboards, Power BI dashboards are the placeholder to display the most important decision making facts to run a business. So basically, Power BI dashboard is a single page that tells a story through visualizations because it is limited to one page, guys. So a well designed dashboard contains only the highlights of that story. So dashboards are the features of Power BI service only. They are not available in Power BI desktop, guys. So basically, dashboards are the business key performance indicator where it displays key values that can change business profits and can be glanced at one screen. So reports and dashboards are dependent on each other, guys, because of any operational value or from a metric value. Power BI report has a feature that they can be drilled down to report level detail granularity. Now let's go through some key benefits of Power BI. So it offers rich personalized dashboards, publishes the report securely, no memory and speed constraints, supports advanced data services, no specialized technical support required, and balance simplicity and performance, and integrates seamlessly with existing applications. Now let's go through the components of Power BI. So Power Query. So Power Query is one of the important components of Power BI, guys. So this can be included in your Excel or can be used as a component of Power BI desktop. So using Power Query, you can delete data from numerous data sources and extract data from a wide range of different databases like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, and other different databases too. So you can also fetch data from records like text files, CSV files, or Excel files. So when we talk about Power Pivot, so Power Pivot is a data modeling and calculation engine, guys. So it is used for modeling simple and complex data. So in Power Pivot, you can set or create relationship between different tables and calculate values that can be viewed in pivot tables. So it provides you a huge space to create your design. So the language used by Power BI Pivot is data analysis expression, which can be also said as DAX. So which is a strongly functional language. And all your calculations are done here, guys. So when you talk about Power View, it is the fundamental data visualization component of Power BI. So it is an interactive component that connects to data sources and retrieves metadata that can be utilized for data analysis. So there are mainly blueprints of visualization in the Power View lists. So with Power View, you can filter data for each visualization component or even for the entire report. So basically slices can be used for better slicing and dicing of the data. So reports in Power View are interactive, guys. So the user can highlight some part of data or different components in Power View to interact with each other. So when we talk about Power Map, it is used to visualize geospatial data in 3D mode. So as soon as the visualization renders in 3D mode, it provides another dimension to it. So in Power Map, you can assume one attribute as the length of a column in 3D and another attribute as a heat map view. So based on geographical location, the data can be highlighted. So geographical locations can be country, state, city, or street address. So when we talk about Power BI QA, it is an ordinary language motor for your data models question and answers. So after assembling your data model and updating it on Power BI website, you or your users can ask questions. So there are some shortcuts and hints for construction of your model. so that it can answer questions in the best possible way. So for data visualizations, Power BI QA works with Power View so that users can ask questions like the number of customers by state, and the question is answered in the form of a map view with number represented as bubbles by Power QA. So when we talk about Power BI Desktop, it is a new component in Power BI suite, guys. So it is an integrated development tool for Power BI Query, Power BI Pivot, and Power BI View. So it lets you build advanced queries, models, and reports. So with Power BI Desktop, it is easy to advance your skills in BI and your experience in data analytics. So when we talk about Power BI website, the solution of Power BI can be published to the Power BI website, guys. So you can create a dashboard for your reports and share with others. So you can also create reports directly on Power BI website, guys. So with Power BI website, you can perform slice and dice operations on data online using a web browser, and it does not even require any other tool. So when we talk about Power BI mobile apps, they have three mobile operating system, guys. Three mobile operating system providers. So Android, iOS, and Windows. So these applications provide you an interactive view of reports and dashboards on the Power BI side. So you can even share them from your mobile app. So a portion of the reports can be featured and a note can be composed on it and shared with others. Now let's go through the architecture of Power BI, guys. So the Power BI architecture is a service built upon Azure, right? So Azure is a Microsoft's cloud computing infrastructure and platform. So this service design is predicated on two clusters, guys. So the online front, which is web front end cluster, and the back finish, which is back end cluster. So the web front end cluster is liable for initial association and authentication to the ability bismuth service. And once documented, the back finish cluster handles all the resultant user interactions. So when we talk about Power BI gateway, it is connected on-premises data sources to Power BI desktop or Power BI cloud services to get continuous data for reporting and analytics, guys. So the Power BI architecture uses the Azure Active Directory to store and to manage the user identities. So it manages the storage of knowledge and data victimization, Azure Blob, and Azure SQL information too. Now let's go through the history of Power BI. So first they have started with Power Pivot add into Excel 2010, and then they have integrated Power View in SQL Server 2012. So in the next release they have added Power Query and Power View in Excel 2013, and then they have released Office 365. There we have Power BI subscriptions, which is completely web based. After that they moved to powerbi.com and they released Power BI Desktop and Power BI mobile application to access the reports and dashboards. So in SQL Server 2016, they released pinning report to Power BI dashboard. So in case you are using SSRS report and if you want to use visualization to Power BI, so you have a flexibility to pin the reports to the Power BI. So in Azure embedded Power BI, we can embed existing reports to the end users. So if you're working for a corporate company and you have to share the report outside the organization, we can use Azure embedded Power BI for this.
Now I will be demonstrating a demo project on Power BI. So let's move ahead, guys.
In this project, we will be doing a special kind of analytics. We will be doing top-down and bottom-up analysis, and use case would be identifying shipping cost leakages. This analysis is very important for any online retailer. So nowadays, we see a lot of e-commerce sites. So success of e-commerce sites will mainly depend on shipping expenses, right? So shipping expenses will do a greater impact on their business. So if it is not handled properly, organizations might have to shut down their business also. So there are many factors affecting the organization shipping costs. Warehouse might not be at right places reachable to the customer base, or no proper tie-ups with local transportation organizations, or you might not have orders continuous cycle. So these all are business related use cases where you can have drastic change or impact on your shipping costs. But on the other side, we can also have a variation in shipping costs because of the internal leakages or internal fraud that can also impact your organization shipping costs. So how do we find or analyze such kind of leakages? How do we trace those fraud transactions? If I have 100 or 500 transactions, I can figure out normally. But what if I have millions of records? That's not an easy task, right? To pinpoint a transaction where there is a suspected fraud. But again, fetching that is also a challenge. So with what factors can I say that it is a fraud transaction? Because of the greatest shipping amount? Sometimes it may not be. Sometimes it might be a critical delivery that you have to do, like returned item, or some mistake might happen from your end, like you have initially delivered wrong item and you have to redeliver it. So you have to consider a lot of factors before terming a transaction as high shipping amount. So it is not a conventional process, right? So you have to do a proper analytics to identify such outlier. So we will do two kinds of analysis: top-down approach and bottom-up approach. So I will take you through series of visualizations. We will be working with this data set, Superstore online sales transactions. So let me connect this to Power BI. So we will go with orders. So it will load all the data into the mashup engine. So let's start building our analysis. So firstly, I will take order priority and shipping cost. So I will flip into bar chart. So this will give shipping cost by order priority. So we can see that low is far more than critical, so which should not happen. So let's build one more visualization to understand the nature of this data further. So this time I will take means of shipping, which is shipping mode and shipping cost. This time I will put it as funnel. On overall, I can see that air deliveries are taking more cost. Rarely I will go for express air, which is quicker delivery, which are critical. So here I can filter and check out. So when I do filtering, what happens is this is highlighting only that portion of data which is relevant to the selection, because this is slice drill down. So I want full bar to show actual value for the selection. I do not want to see the shadow. So for that I have to select this visualization and then go to format and then click on edit interactions. You can see these three icons getting highlighted. So if I select highlight, it will highlight only the portion of data which is selected in the previous visualization. So it will do slice filtering which is done before. I mean, if you want complete filter, then go for this. So it will just show the data which is filtered above. Or if you don't want to apply the filter, then you can go for this. So if you click on this, any change will not happen in this. So for higher priority, mostly it is done with truck. For critical, it is done with air. For medium, it's air. So this is what we are interested in. When I click on low, regular air has way more transactions than any other means of mode. So still something is happening here. So this is contributing to escalations of overall costs. So I want to do further drill down. So this time I will go for combination chart, which is scatter plot. So I will put shipping costs. So I will take this to y-axis. So I will go for customer name. So I will put row ID. So which is the number of transactions for the customer. And this will be the sum of shipping costs. So when I select this funnel chart, everything is getting changed. So I don't want this to be happened. So when I select this, only next visualization should change, not the previous one. So now I will change the interaction properties of this visualization. So now let's check it. So the next visualization is getting affected, but not the previous one. So finally, I'll put one details view. In this details view, I will have customer name, order date, so product they have ordered, so any profit I made, shipping cost, sales amount, and where they are from. So let's change the format of the date. So observe how I'm setting up the interaction for each of these visualizations. So for the first visualization, this should filter this, and in turn this, and in turn this. So see how I'm setting up the filters. Observe how I'm setting these interactions. So table visualization will not have a filter context. So let's see how I derive this. So I will select the bar, this bar, because it is clearly visible that there is some problem here. So low priority shipping costs are more, right? So I can see that the regular air has more transactions. So now you can see the scatter plot. So I can clearly see that these are the transactions where there is an issue, because these are outliers, right? So they are clearly separated out because all other transactions are following trend. So there are certain variations. Towards top, it is shipping cost. So there are still under some pattern except these three transactions. So let's check this. So you can see that he's the same customer. So let's compare the customer's overall shipping cost and the profit which I made. So we can see that the profit I made is lesser when I compare with the total shipping cost. So you can clearly identify that this is some fraudulent transaction. So this is top-down approach. So what we have done is we have logged backward filtering and we are enabling only forward filtering. So the only disadvantage is that now if I have selected low here and then when I come to this visualization and click on this regular air, so the previous visualization will get back to its original form. So we don't need to worry about this. We will be able to get our end objective. So let me rename this to top-down analysis. We can see that the profit I made is lesser when I compare with the total shipping cost. So you can clearly identify that this is some fraudulent transaction. So this is top-down approach. So what we have done is we have logged backward filtering and we are enabling only forward filtering. So the only disadvantage is that now if I have selected low here and then when I come to this visualization and click on this regular air, so the previous visualization will get back to its original form. So we don't need to worry about this. We will be able to get our end objective. So let me rename this to top-down analysis. So the only disadvantage is that now if I have selected low here and then when I come to now let's duplicate this page. So the previous visualization will get back to its original form. And let's rename this to bottom-up analysis. So let me rename this to top-down analysis. So basically in this I will go backward. So I will start from the bottom and I will see if there are any unusual patterns. So here my objective is not to find outliers. Here my objective is not to find the error transaction or fraud transaction. So here my objective is to find out the areas where I have to improve. So this visualization from transactional view, I will switch into an aggregated view with the help of any of these visualizations. So I will go and choose donut chart. So I will see which product so basically I'm spending on. This I will go backward. So I will start from the bottom and I will see if there are any unusual patterns. So here my objective is not to find outliers. Here my objective is not to find the error transaction. So I will choose product category. So here my objective is to find out the areas and shipping cost. So this visualization. So I will put one more visualization here. This time I will take bar chart. So I will go and choose donut chart. So I will see. So I will choose customer segment. I'm spending this. And shipping cost. So this I will change into tree map. So I will select product container and shipping cost. I will be doing bottom-up analysis. So my setup of interaction will be backwards. So let's see how do I do that. So when I select something here, so they should filter next immediately. So when I select something from here, it should not filter from its previous one, but it should filter next visualization. The same thing here also.
So now we have set up the bottom-up analysis. So I can see that furniture items are taking more shipping expenses. So furniture which is spent to home office or truck delivery having more shipping costs. So let's click on home office. So under this majority is regular air. So right now small box is taking more shipping costs than larger box. So might be volume is more, right? So that's why I'm spending more on small box than large box. So maybe because the volume is more. So this brings us to the end of this project, guys. Now let me just take you through the courses that we offer. So let me just quickly switch to the browser and let me show you our website. So this is our website, guys, Intellipaat.com. Once you reach there, we have a lot of courses. We don't only teach Power BI, we teach a lot other courses. Data science, cloud DevOps and architect, and many more. So if you search for Power BI and hit enter, you can find the course. So this is our training page, guys. We just open that. You can view our projects, you can view our course content and everything. So you can view the course content over here, and you can view the projects and case studies in this tab. So guys, for all those people who are watching this on YouTube, we have a special offer for you guys. So you will be getting flat 30% on whatever the price visible on website. So all you have to do is to enter the promo code YouTube30, and that should do well for you. So you will be getting flat 30% off on it, and it's only for the people who are watching it on YouTube, guys. So thank you all for attending the session. So if you have any questions, you can always call us on these numbers available on the screen, guys. Or you can also mail us on sales@intellipaat.com, and we will get back to you promptly. Okay, guys, if you want any advice with respect to what you have done, or if you are not still sure after this session, you can again call us, and our course advisors will help you out in taking a decision. So thank you all guys for joining this session.